right, what is going on, everybody? Monday morning here on the East Coast, about 9 a.m. as I'm recording this. Today, I'm going to just do real quickly just a summary of what I explained last time and kind of see where we're going to be going for the week. Let's hop right into it. And I mean, I don't really need to go over anything, right? Let's just take a look at the last weekly candle that just closed. So we did get a bullish candle here with a wick to the upside, not really any wick to the downside. There's just a little tiny nubbin right there to the downside. And we did close above the point of control. So right now, this week is going to be really crucial in my opinion. We need to hold this point of control on the weekly chart here at about 9,300. A failure to break above and make a close above 9,500 this week would probably not be a good sign. We really want to see a close above about 9,550 if we can. But for all intents and purposes, the high here on the last weekly candle was 94.75. So we definitely want to see a close of about 9,500 or higher. And we certainly don't want to be closing back below this point of control again. That would not be very good, in my opinion. If we did that on the weekly chart this week, if we close below this point of control again, chances are we will be seeing further downside and seeing a deeper correction compared to this entire move. Algos, especially long-term algos, they love hitting those targets. I personally would love to see Bitcoin down in that range, you know, below $7,000 again. I would definitely load up really, really heavy on spot. But as of right now, I'm focusing on the bullish short-term scenario here. And when I say short-term, I mean like the next month or two, not like the next day or two. Again, props to Jesse Feinberg for coming up with the itch EMA dynamics. This is a free indicator on TradingView. Anyway, getting into this, right? So on this daily chart, pretty important. We're using this 50 EMA as pretty strong support now, lots of wicks to the downside, absorbing a whole bunch of, selling pressure and stuff like that. And we're still floating just above this point of control on the daily chart as of right now. Got about 11 hours still left to go on this daily chart. So far, this is looking pretty decent. We haven't dipped into this cloud. We're using the cloud as support. We're using our EMAs as support. Pretty soon, this 100 moving average is going to be lined up pretty well with the top of our cloud. So that's actually a good thing. If we take a look at some of our indicators, we do have a bearish cross that we just got on the daily chart. However, we're in bullish territory. So, this could just be like a little tiny correction and then we start moving up. This is what I'm going to be watching very closely here because our volatility is really, really low because of all this sideways movement. And on top of that, if we end up using this median line right at 0 on our MACD as support, then we're probably going to end up moving up. All right, so just a quick overview of all of these trend lines that I've had these for quite some time. I'm not going to explain them right now. If you don't know how I've connected these points and why I have two separate sets of them, go back and watch one of my other previous videos. I explain it, I think, in the last 3 videos in a row. But for now, let's head down to our 4-hour chart and take a look at what's going on. We bounced off of this purple trend line almost perfectly and then came right back down into this level of support right here that I've got, which is this green box, right? So we use that as actually pretty strong support, and now we're coming up. So there is a case here that on these lower time frames that we're actually forming a bear flag here, and that we're going to end up coming down further. So this is entirely possible. And if we do come down further, I am still expecting us to be making a higher low compared to here. So pretty much on these smaller time frames, if we get anything above 8,900, I will be perfectly okay with that. If we end up dipping down below this level of support here, I will probably end up buying that dip. We can even come down here and bounce off of this trend line and it'll be just above, where this last low was. So to illustrate that a little better, let's hop on over here. This is honestly what I'm expecting right now. Our weekly high and our weekly low has literally just been put in like immediately after our weekly open, right? So we opened here at 92.75 almost, and we dipped all the way down and put in a new weekly low at 91.50. And we immediately right after that basically put in another our weekly high up at about 93.50. So we've got kind of this this $200 range going on here, and there's definitely that case. Again, like I said, for that bear flag that is forming here, right? So we've got kind of this this channel going on here, and you know this is entirely valid. It's a really valid point for those that are saying that, hey, you know, it's looking like a bear flag. It totally is looking like a bear flag to me. You know, we entered it from the downside. We're moving our way up. If we fail to break and close above weekly highs here and break out of this channel, then we will probably end up breaking down and be testing this larger box down here at the $9,000 level. As of right now, this is a higher low. So if we end up breaking up out of this and we invalidate that bear flag, which would be awesome. And Bitcoin is known to invalidate bear flags, bull flags, and all kinds of patterns all the time, right? Lower liquidity, higher level of manipulation. People just end up making Bitcoin do what they want it to do, right? So if we end up invalidating that bull flag and we end up reclaiming weekly highs and closing above, we end up standing a really good chance of having a resistance flip here, turning that into support, doing a really nice SR flip at this 93.50 level. And then we could potentially be taking out our monthly highs for new monthly highs here and making a new higher high somewhere up here. But as of right now, you know, we could end up failing here. This could end up turning into a lower high, and then we could end up seeing a lower low here, which compared to this one, but it would still be a higher low in comparison to these majors, which are pivot points, right? So if we take out this low, that's not that bad. But if we start breaking through here, and we start sweeping our monthly low, that's when I would start getting worried, because there's not too much wiggle room in between our monthly low at 8,900 compared to the low of this candle here, which is at 88.25. So not very much wiggle room there. There's only about a $75 wiggle room in here. So I would definitely be worried if we started creeping down into the 8,900 territory. But as long as we can hold that zone and hold this box here, we should be good, because we'll have a higher low in comparison to this major pivot point. So that's pretty much where I see Bitcoin for today. On these lower time frames here, let's go down to a 1 hour, just kind of see where we're at real fast. Slow grind up. I'm not really liking the looks of these really big wicks to the upside and downside. This looks kind of like an SFP on this higher time frame on the 4 hour chart, like a really big swing failure pattern here, and then it moved to the upside. So typically with a swing failure pattern, when you see really big wicks like this in either direction, that's notably in crypto, it's called the Darth Maul candle. When you see something like that and you get giant wicks to the upside and downside, that's known as a swing failure pattern. And just a quick tip, the way to play a swing failure pattern is you wait until all of this crazy price action ends. Don't be hopping in on the 1 minute and 5 minute chart. Don't be doing any of that. You're especially playing high leverage. You're going to get burned. You wait for the pullback off of that reaction candle. You long here or here, whatever. Put your stop pretty loose, you know, maybe the top of this previous SFP candle. You probably wouldn't have gotten stopped out there. You would have had about $5 or $10 wiggle room. And then you play it in the opposite direction. So if you would have opened up a long here at 92.75 or at 92.65 on the higher time frame here for a low leverage play, like maybe 5x or 2x or something like that, you would have hit up here at about 93.50. So that's not too bad. That's a nice little scalp play on the 4 hour chart. You would have been in the position less than 24 hours. Anyway, that's pretty much where I see Bitcoin for today. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I will see you guys on Friday for another update on Bitcoin. And I'm also going to have some more tutorials coming out this week. Stay tuned for that. Check out all the links in the description below for all of my other social medias, as well as a link down below for the ByBit World Series of Trading. So this is going to be a new competition that ByBit is going to be doing twice yearly. So it's going to be a biannual competition, and there's going to be teams and stuff like that. You can register to be a team captain. So if you sign up with my link below, you'll get a $90 sign up bonus, and you'll also get perks for being pre-registered. So they give you like a $60 extra margin bonus and stuff like that. We're going balls to the wall on this. Let's all make some money together, right? There's over 200 Bitcoin in prizes. It's really awesome. So definitely check that out in the description below. Make sure that you smash that like and subscribe button. Happy trading, and I'll see you Friday.